Hello, YouTube. Today I'm going to be talking about The Code of the Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakhiani, the founder of Mind Valley. I'm going to be focusing on his idea of memes and how to break out of them. So what is a meme? A meme is to culture what a gene is to evolution. So memes compete with each other. Memes are idea complexes, right? Structures of ideas that compete with each other in human culture. And when you're possessed by a meme, you literally are not free, right? You are possessed by some idea that has been thought up by somebody else. So that's why in this picture, I created a dude with, spiral eyes, because he's confused. He's living in the culture scape, which is what Vishen Lakhiani says. When you live in the culture scape, you're completely dominated by the conventions of society, by the way that other people do things. And the only solution is to break out and question the rules, as bullshit rules is what Vishen Lakhiani called it. You have to master the culture scape, right? You have to understand that you can be possessed by memes. And like Goku right here, going Super Saiyan, you got to bust out. You got to break out of the culture scape and create your own values. And this is what Nietzsche essentially says. And this is what Vishen Lakhiani gets to, is the idea that our culture is filled with so many ineffective ways of doing things and frankly dangerous ways of doing things, right? Human civilization, as a result of Western culture, is falling into, higher rates of depression, higher rates of suicidality, higher rates of many bad things. And what you do to break out of that is to detach from your thoughts, realize that your thoughts are mostly controlled by other people, and rebel, awaken against society and become a rebel and break away from the herd. You see that little dot up there in the top left corner? That's what you need to be. You need to rebel against these. And I talk about the moral rebel, right? Like you have to rebel the right way, and the herd, right? Just religion and politics and capitalism and all of these things are idea complexes that are not necessarily the way that things ought to be done. So what you have to do is recode yourself, essentially. That's what Vishen Lakhiani essentially says, is if the rebel pushes long enough and hard enough, he eventually becomes a visionary. The scope of human knowledge expands. The visionary puts a dent in the universe. The herd is back there, but the visionary creates a little hole, an aperture through which to see the possibilities of the future. Now, the question is, how does one become a visionary? These are the ability to become a visionary essentially depends on two qualities. First, you have to have a vision of the future. Having a vision of the future, a positive vision of the future, a self-constructed vision of the future is essential for mankind. So if you look at this next picture, you have to have a vision of the future, and also you have to be in the now. So the ability to hold these competing tensions in the psyche, the ability to be here now, as Ram Dass says, and the ability to have a vision of the future, right? The more you're in the now, you can fall into hedonism if you don't have a vision of the future. But if you have a vision of the future and you're in the now, that's happiness. That's bending reality, as Vishen says. That's awakened doing, as Eckhart Tolle says. So this is the nature of how to become a visionary. Now, I add on to Vishen Lakhiani's theory, right? The visionary is usually a lone person, right? He's by himself and he's doing his own thing, but eventually the visionary becomes a leader. And to change the world, you have to become a leader and pull the herd in your direction. So how does the herd follow your direction? First, you have to be the leader. Then you have to inspire a minority of the herd to go your way, to create the world, the vision that you want to create. And that's how you create a big fucking hole in the universe. You change the world. You blow apart the culture scape. You make not only a dent, but a hole. A hole through which the light of reality can stream in, right? So what are these leaders, right? Jesus, Buddha, Socrates, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, all of them went on Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. So they all, Jesus, I'll go with him. He lived in a society where the status quo was the Roman Empire. The Caesars were thought to be God. And his call to adventure was the corruption and psychic chaos around him. And, Jesus got help along the way. He departed. He dived into the special world. He went through trials and tribulations. He went through crisis. He got crucified. He got resurrected. And now he has new life and resolution in the status quo. So this is the essential structure of becoming a personality, an individual who breaks away from the conventions of society. So that's really what I wanted to talk about. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.